They say the best things come from the worst shit.
A lot of you people, man, this has probably been one of the toughest stories that I had to cover, in my short time just being on YouTube, man. And this Nipsey Hussle situation is very, very sad. But I just want to give y'all a quick update about Lauren London, who was Nipsey Hussle's, wife. She finally, broke her silence on IG, and she spoke about, Nipsey. I know everybody was waiting for this, so here it is. She says, "I'm completely lost." She goes on and say, "I lost my best friend, my sanctuary, my protector, my soul. I'm lost without you. We are lost without you, babe. I have no words." And, one thing that Nipsey said, he always said, that she completed him pretty much. He said that was like the female Nipsey. We seen that obviously, she started off and was dealing with other guys, but it seemed like she finally found the one. They, made that alliance, and he always say that and behind every strong man, behind every king, there's a queen, and we see that. I know people probably seen the footage of her rushing to the hospital. A lot of stuff came out on Instagram. You know how that goes, but this is sad, man. I'm just pissed off at the end of the day to see such an influential, positive brother be gunned down over what they say is just something real stupid and real petty. I hate to be the cliche guy to say, "Oh, we need to stop this, that," but everybody knows what needs to happen here. Now, hopefully, all I can say is that we can learn from this. Hopefully, the people that looked up to Nipsey, that they can look at Nipsey as inspiration and try to follow in some of the, same footsteps that Nipsey laid out. Because, even though he is gone, Nipsey laid a blueprint. He organized the information to where anybody can follow that blueprint. So, I mean, gone so soon, 33, actually the same age as me. Very, very tough. I mean, when Pac died, Biggie died, I was very, very young at the time. But I'm feeling this one. I know everybody's feeling this one. No lie. I know a lot of guys just do this and just to do it. But this one I'm really feeling. This hurts. I mean, me, myself, has lost a loved one within the past 5 years to street violence, similar to something like this. So you never kind of overcome it. I could definitely, feel the pain. But like I said, man, I don't know, man. I don't know, but let me know what y'all think. In the comments, y'all been very supportive as of late. Dropping information, hit me up, let me know different things. I appreciate all the people who rock out with this channel from the bottom of my heart. This is your boy, Old Guy Hip Hop News Uncensored. Lauren London going on IG, pretty much leaving a little statement, heartfelt, for her husband, who we know was killed the other day in Los Angeles. Now I'm at the back part of this video, I'm gonna put the video on, where they talk about actually capturing this alleged shooter of Nipsey Hussle, Eric Holder. Stay tuned.
Yeah, man. Well, since we last talked about the Nipsey Hussle, being shot and killed the other day in LA, before we came into the podcast today, we got word that the alleged shooter of Nipsey Hussle has been caught. Now they're saying that the LA County Sheriff's Department did put out a tweet pretty much announcing that Eric Holder was apprehended around 12:53 p.m. on 900th block of Artista Boulevard. You see the video there. We got on the screen him, being searched, brought in to custody. Now we know yesterday the picture started to surface about, I think when we left the podcast, more so the picture came out of Holder, and they had to manhunt him with the girl, the car that they was in, and we knew probably within a 24 to 48 hour window that he would be captured. And I know for the family, this is just one more step, and I mean in reference to the Nipsey Hussle family, this is one more step closer to justice. You know what I mean? For them, obviously, the longer it would have went on with him not being captured, it'll just been more. So hopefully, they can get him in and bring this guy to justice if this is indeed who the shooter was. It does look like it is that guy.
Well, we talked yesterday, and we talked about the number of surveillance cameras that they have throughout Los Angeles, in particular in the shopping area where Nipsey Hussle did business, the Marathon store where he was at, where he unfortunately got murdered. And just someone had to find him. The police had to find him within that 24 to 48 hour period, just based off of the amount of surveillance that they had out there. Now, it is alleged right now, but it is more than likely him being the suspect based off of the camera evidence and things like that. And like you said, it's a one step to closure for the family, but it's still so fresh, and it doesn't justify it at all. It's really disgusting. Like we were talking about in the pre-production, when you really think about it, it doesn't matter what scenario you could possibly throw out there outside of him putting threat to your family or harming your family that you could justify something like this. It really doesn't justify it, and it's sad. And you still hear the conspiracy theories, which I think are a bit immature now at this point. We can talk about that a little bit if you want. But yeah, it's a real unfortunate situation. We can dive into this a number of different ways.
Well, yeah, well, the conspiracies, when I hear that the family is, furious that people are even entertaining that with the Dr. Sebi, which I think is a little, outlandish. Obviously, what we see now is what they're saying. It was a personal, they had a disagreement. They're saying that he, had an altercation. They're saying that the dude was allegedly a snitch. He was a police informant. Nipsey told him to leave the area. He came back with the gun. From the footage, we could tell he started shooting, people, there. So very, very unfortunate, because like you said, there's no justification for whatever happened in this situation. Whatever dispute was over, for you to take a man's life like that. A man that was giving back, to the community, boots on the ground for real, caught in a very uncompromised position, man. It's rough, man, because when you, and I just recently, probably in the last year, really, started coming on to Nipsey, because we started to see him, more so. But the culture vulture, he hooked up with Kenyatta and Dame, and we was, rocking out with them for a minute there, and we kind of just was introduced to him, because a lot of times on the East Coast, we don't really connect with a lot of the West Coast guys, but he seemed to bridge that gap, started listening to his music, and it's almost like, definitely we could compare him to Pac, prophetic. You talk about victory lap, the stuff that he's talking about in his music right now, I think, man, is it's just amazing dude, man, and definitely sad, very, very sad. Like, not even lying, not even, a lot of people just get on here, really, shed a tear for this dude, man. I ain't gonna front.
This is genuine, and it's his home. It's his home on a personal level, and not that we know Nipsey Hussle personally, because we don't. But this just hits home. We can relate to situations like this where violence unjustly happens, where somebody picks up a weapon or a gun and takes somebody's life for no fucking reason. It's terrible. And when you see somebody like a Nipsey Hussle out here changing his life and doing good for his people, schooling his people, and him being wise beyond his years, because even in his younger interviews, as much as he was probably wild and running around doing his thing, he was still talking about buying into real estate, things we're talking about in our mid-30s. He was still talking about empowering his people and taking care and investing, as opposed to going out here and showboat and putting value into things that depreciate, not appreciating value. So very wise beyond his years. These aren't the type of dudes that you take out, no matter what the justification is very unfortunate. I want to switch gears a little bit in the conversation and talk about one of the angles that we've been hearing often, and it's the black on black crime angle. And a lot of people are out here, they're very outspoken in saying we have to stop killing each other, we have to stop doing this, which I agree with. But there's also a little bit of a narrative being steered and a little bit of a glamorization, dare I say, amongst us, when it comes to quote unquote black on black crime. Oh God, what's your thought on that, man? Yeah, man, when we talked about that and we kind of briefly got into it yesterday, you got to go back and do your history and just look at, it was a time, obviously, when we were in America, where we were amongst each other, thriving in the black on black. Obviously, people that live amongst each other are more likely to kill each other, but the rate wasn't as high as it is right now. And it goes back to, lack of opportunities, lack of jobs, being put in these environments where anybody, even in this country, even further back in the 20s and 30s, and even up into the 40s a little bit, immigrants were coming over from different European countries and whatnot, and they found themselves in the same conditions, and their murder rates were high. They were killing each other. Where you think you get the mobster movies from and all that, and these people killing each other and these different things, you know what I mean? So it's not race specific. It just so happens right now that we have been through, and they're not making any excuse, this is just facts, we have been through some of the worst atrocities. We have not been able to recover. We talk about coming up from segregation, and then when there's a direct correlation between black on black crime, influx of drugs,
HIV, poverty, all these things start to, spike when you see the ghettos and stuff and the black people starting to go down the economic ladder. So when people say, oh, they got to just stop, newsflash, it ain't going to stop until there's more, opportunities, until there's better education, till people are making better decisions. And that goes back to the education, the food that we eat. It goes back to the way we taught, the culture and everything. Hip hop is a deaf culture. All these guys on the internet, all these rappers, some of them fake, some of them real, they all promote that shit. They all promote what happened to Nipsey Hussle. Oh, you disrespect me, I shoot your ass, I kill your ass. Oh, you do this, I take your girl. Most of them cats promoted that shit and got rich doing that shit. That's what they promote.
So are they hypocrites in saying rest in peace Nipsey now? Or
some of them are, man. Some of them are. Now, I'm not saying a guy can't change his life around. Everybody has that right, to go through and change his life around. But we know, damn well that a lot of these guys promoted that, man. And it seems like we talk about somebody being killed, but on the other hand, you got rappers that promote the drug use, people being killed like that too, ODing all day long, people promoting that in these industries. We were just talking about Lira and him talking about, what the type of stuff that's being promoted, and we hear the music. So it's just like art imitating life, life imitating art. It's wrong. Wrong is wrong. That's all.